Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 8 of the Next Podcast. Joining me today is our little yoga baby, Johnny.
How are you? As well.
How are you today?
Good, yeah. Thanks for having me.
I'm delighted you're here.
I'm delighted to be here.
It's a few weeks now. I was saying that I was going to have
I know, yeah. I knew it was going to line up because you're
so
coming
busy
down to the beach and everything, and I was like, you know what? I'd love to go on and have a chat with you because it's good.
One of the first men that can help me sleep at night.
Am I?
Yeah.
Right, well, that's good.
I had a sleeping problem before I started yoga.
Okay. I have a sleeping problem myself. It seems like everybody else is getting the benefits from my yoga.
And now I'm sleeping an awful lot better.
Lovely.
But between yoga and I start taking magnesium.
Yeah.
In around the same time.
Okay.
So like the two of them are working like a dream.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to have to start doing because my levels of insomnia has gone through the roof this year for some reason.
You're just overstimulated, I'd say.
I don't know what it is.
So
Yeah, probably stuck in my own head with a lot of things too that's going on. But I'm similar to you. We'll start back on the magnesium.
Yeah.
Cutting down on the caffeine a little bit as well now. Still have probably 3 times the dose of
some
coffee.
Some of us just shouldn't drink coffee, shouldn't we?
No.
And here I am with a bottle of Lucozade.
Lucozade is different. It's proper energy. You can just burn that off straight away and it's used up. Whereas the
what do you think of that tea that I gave you?
It's gorgeous.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah. What is it?
Sultan and eucalyptus.
It smells like the eucalyptus. It smells like the sauna.
I was in bits. It's very good for your chest.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
So for anybody at home who doesn't know you already, do you want to tell them a little bit about you and what your life was like growing up?
My life growing up, I suppose...
Where did you grow up?
I was born in England. Unfortunately, I hate saying that. I'm a staunch, no, I'm a staunch Irishman. My man there from Longford, but they moved to England back in the 80s and they had me in 1988. But we grew up in a very Irish-dominated area.
Yeah.
You can imagine what England was back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. There was a lot of Irish over there. So I had never an English accent or anything like that. It was always a staunch Longford accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, we moved back. My man and dad broke up. They broke up before I was even 1. And my ma brought me back to Ireland, I think, when I was like 3 or 4. And then we moved back to my hometown of jolly Longford. I always say like Longford's like the north.
You got your lovely accent.
It's like the north side of the Midlands, you know. Everybody thinks that all these cultures have road frontage and a big farm and all that. Like I just grew up in a council estate back then.
Thought we're going to pull up on a tractor.
And a tractor, yeah. I'd be doing well to get a tractor down this far. But yeah, no, I moved back to Longford and moved into an area called St. Michael's Roads. Great place, but also a mad place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you can relate to it down here in this
definitely.
area of Dublin as well. Wild. You know, everybody lovely people, but shit could kick off at any second and the whole road would be locked off. But I had a good childhood. It was me ma pretty much raising me. Me nanny as well would have been a lot. And then there was aunties and uncles. Like there was a load of cousins as well. But yeah, I would have had a pretty decent upbringing. Not that we were ever rich or anything like that, but there was a lot of love and
you all had each other.
Always had each other, like, you know what I mean. But then when it was about, say around the 11 or 12 mark, I started getting a bit wild myself and started carrying on a little bit in the last year of primary school. And then by the time 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th year come in, like I was just getting worse.
Did you have ADHD, man?
So I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 28, when I was in college. So I was after slipping the whole way through primary school, secondary school, without anybody ever checking to see what is actually wrong with this fella. Why can he not sit still? Why is he always messing? And then when I find out with 28, I'm like, right, well, that makes so much more sense now, you know.
Back then, they probably would have just thought you were a ball bastard.
Yeah, that's all it was, yeah. Now, to be honest with you, I do think, and I'm hearing a lot more evidence. Do you remember we were getting those jabs when we were like 11 or 12? I was at the MMR and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I was a grand, placid child, no real boldness in me, just a bit of messing. But then I feel like when I look back in around that stage, I went a little bit fucking bananas in school, you know what I mean? So, could be something related back to that. Maybe that brought something on.
Time will tell.
You know? Well, it's just, apparently the studies are coming out now saying that a lot of those vaccines are a cause for a lot of kids' mental problems, you know? So, I don't know.
I agree with you on all that.
Yeah. So, what happened then? Moved to Longford. Was just hanging around Longford for years and getting
into trouble.
Not really causing that much trouble. We were partying a lot. Like I started drinking when I was 11.
Yeah.
Like, and I was brought to Mullingar Hospital, I think when I don't even know if I was 13. I might have been just in around the 13 mark. So I was drinking a litre bottle of vodka, a bottle of peach schnapps, like mad stuff.
I was like that too, Shani.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just a lot of drinking, partying, fighting, getting into a lot of trouble without like doing anything really bad, you know what I mean? It just felt like
sabotaging
myself, and whenever trouble did happen, it was like something drastic, you know what I mean? And a few court appearances and a lot of stuff, like people arguing on the road and getting into fights. And when I look back at a lot of the stuff that went on, the damage I done to people that got done to me, and just the arguments that ended up happening, like when I look back, there was no need for any of it, you know. It's just young, drunk,
the environment,
boisterous, the environment you're in as well, you know. Small housing estate, in a small county,
load of drinkers
with a load of big heads, thinking we all thought we were big fish in a small pond, you know what I mean? So but other than that, it was a grand childhood. The only problem I suppose I really did have growing up was I started putting on a lot of weight when I hit the 12-13 mark, and I started developing a lot of eating disorders.
Right.
Because although I was heavy, I was conscious of it, because I was hanging around with slightly older people, 15, 16. I was the youngest in the group. And you know yourself, people can be a little bit bullyish. But boys, they'd call you fat cunt or whatever, you know what I mean? And
chubby, fat.
Yeah, I'd pass no heed, but I'd slag back on the road and give as good as I got. But then when I'd be dwelling in my own room, I'd be very conscious of all this. And then I'd go down a spin of eating the press over, hiding food in my room, going up and getting takeouts all the time.
Ashamed to eat.
Yeah. And I'd just stay in the room playing the PlayStation by myself. Anytime I'd feel like I'm after having a fall out with the lads.
Looking at you how fit you are, like you'd never think.
I know, like I was in obesity, teenage obesity clinics, having to go over and get my health sorted out. Was very overweight, had to start going to the gym. My mother was the first person to bring me to a gym. And like, to see the transformation that I'm after making over the years, to go from an obese teen to be able to give people health advice and be strong, fit and healthy and capable.
So many people all over Ireland.
Yeah, it's mad. It's been a mad turn of events. But there was lots of yo-yos and ups and downs in that, like, you know what I mean? I lost loads of weight when I was in my teens, because fair play to my friends on the road, there was a few staunch heads that were like, right, we'll bring them out playing football. Got boxing gloves, we were boxing the head of each other in the back garden, like just getting me fit. And then a mate of mine got a weight bench, and then I started buying weights, and then it was just this little like training camp for about 2 years. I lost a good bit of weight, and then of course when you hit 17, 18, you're going out partying into the pubs.
Sessions.
Yeah, like drink. People don't think there's any calories in drink, but if you're drinking as much as I was drinking, you get fat fairly quick, you know. So it's always this kind of struggle of,
and then eating, pigging out with the hangovers.
Eating and pigging out, and it was just this struggle of up and down, and then not really knowing what I was at. Going to the gym, doing all the wrong exercise, but at least I was training. Then not eating correctly, you know. So when I was 23, then I decided to go back to college properly, because I failed my leaving cert so badly, and it wasn't out of stupidity me failing the leaving cert, it was pure laziness.
You just
no interest. Went in the last year of school, I done 30 full days in the whole school, okay, and some of those full days were made up from half days, because my ma used to go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. She'd bell me at about 8 o'clock, half 8. She'd be like, "Are you up?" I'd be like, yeah, I'm up. I wasn't up. I'd roll back over,
straight into bed,
have another sleep till about 10 o'clock, get up, smoke a fag, have a cup of tea, walk down to the school, have the 11 o'clock break, do the double practical between the lunch, play a game of football at lunch, and then round up about 5 or 6 boys to come back down to the house, play the PlayStation and smoke joints all day.
Yeah.
And then when my ma found out, I remember sitting in the sitting room one day, I could just see her tearing, because where you look out my front sitting room windows, right on one of the main roads in town, and there's just this black rail, and I could see her power walking down. And I was like, I'm done. She's after being at that parent teacher meeting, and that's when it all came out, and I deserved what I got. I ended up getting like, I think 80 points in my leaving cert or something like that.
Did she batter you?
She went mad, yeah. She went fucking skits, and I don't blame her, like, because...
What was that go to? The sweeping bush or the slipper?
The egg flipper with the big metal head in it. But she never got me that time, because as soon as I seen her coming down, she seen me sitting in the window, and there's steps down into our housing estate, and she was just like that pointing, and I was just straight out the back door over the back wall and hidden my mate's gaff for 2 days, because she was going to freak. Like, my mother didn't deserve.
Isn't it mad that fear you had as a child? Like the fear. Even
I was 17. I was nearly a grown man.
Isn't it? You didn't have that fear when you were doing it. It's only you knew when you were caught, you were like, fuck.
Yeah. Look, just school isn't just for some people, you know what I mean?
It's not for everybody.
But that's what I'm saying. I went back then and done me PLC course, reset my maths leaving cert, got into a course, health science and nutrition, and I was like, this is what I need to do. I need to study.
Surprised everyone, did you, when you went back?
Like, imagine the fat fella out of the group was after becoming a personal trainer, yoga instructor, and has a degree in health science and nutrition, you know. So, but yeah, I felt like I needed to learn.
Love a good underdog story.
I know, yeah. It's not even done yet, you know, it's only getting going.
It's only starting.
But yeah, that was the crack. Went back to college, got my degree, started working in the matter for a few years, and then...
What happened then? I
really enjoyed the work in the matter. I was working in the microbiology lab, and I had been working in the gym while I was doing my degree, so this felt like...
So you had best of both worlds, kind of.
Yeah, so when I left the gym and finished my degree, I got this job in the matter. It was like such an amazing year because I finished my degree in 2018, and the week after I finished the degree, I had a job interview.
Right.
On the Thursday. And then I went to Life Festival. Remember Life Festival in Mullingar? Went to Life Festival with the ex-girlfriend. She was at the finishing her degree as well. Load of mates. We went down to Life on the Friday and went on the fucking rip. You know, you can imagine Life Festival back in the day. And went in the rip down there for the weekend. And on the Tuesday, I got the phone call saying I was after getting the job. So it was all this unbelievable, just stepping stones. And then I was like, this is great now. I have a big boy job now down in the city. I think I'm the great fella. And I loved it for the first 2 years, but then when the COVID carrying on kicked off, it became...
Did that majorly affect you?
Did it which?
Did it majorly affect your life?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, because...
It affected everyone. It fucked us all over.
It affected everybody's life, but some people were blind to the effects that were going to be happening now, in today, at 2025, you know what I mean? So many people were living in fear, and then other people were just simply coerced into doing...
Were you one of the ones like myself who would have been called, like, what's that called? What's that called?
An anti-vaxxer.
Yeah. Tinfoil hat wearer.
Yeah, conspiracy
theorist.
So when
nut job.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much what I ended up being called. But so I had a very inside view of what was going on in the hospital and a bird's eye view, because say if you were in the hospital and you were getting a swab off a nurse, the next person to handle that was me. So I was able to see, I was putting on all these tests and seeing what wasn't going on. Like you were seeing the news reports every evening, and I was working in the matter, and I was like, this isn't making any sense. We're doing nothing in here. We were playing cards by 3 o'clock in the day, feet up, waiting for pizzas to come into the lab.
Did you walk all the way through that?
Worked the whole way through, yeah.
Front line?
2022. We finished, when the COVID finished, I finished about 2 months after the COVID. I was like, right, I've enough done. I'm out of here, because between the abuse that I got, the ridicule I got, and the fact that they wouldn't let me progress further into another job, because you know yourself, when you're working in a job for a while, you eventually want to see some sort of career progression.
Of course. So, want to step the ladder. That's the whole point.
So I started off in the lab as a lab assistant in the microbiology lab. And when COVID hit, I was after becoming such good friends with the fella who was the manager of the phlebotomy department. And me and him always had good chats, good laugh. We'd bump into each other in the hall or whatever. If he came in and he needed anything off me, I'd sort him out straight away. Yeah. So he said, pulled me aside one day. He said, come here, would you be interested in getting trained up as a phlebotomist? And I was like, 100%. That's someone who takes blood. And he goes, right. He goes, I need you to come and shadow me. He says, you won't be getting paid for this. So I was going in doing an hour in the morning before I went into my main job, and then an hour in the evening for about 3 months. Yeah. And then he let me start taking bloods then. And it was kind of like this temporary contract where it started off at 5 hours a week. But because I was doing so good at it, they ended up giving me 20 hours a week on top of my lab hours, right? So I was doing this, and I was going into rooms with people who were isolated for COVID, having to be pretty much wearing hazmat suits going in to take blood off people. And about 9 months later, then, when all these policies were coming in around the vaccine and stuff, because I wouldn't take the vaccine, they wouldn't let me progress any further in that job. Yeah. And I was like, right, you know what? I'm getting the fuck out of here.
But yet you are in there for 9 months.
I was in there for 9 months, not a bother. Billy strutting around the place like McGregor. Like, because people would be like, oh, how come you're not getting the vaccine? I was like, look, that's for the weak and vulnerable. Do I look weak and vulnerable? You know what I mean?
People underlying health conditions.
Yeah. And then people telling you, oh, well, it's stopping the spread. And I was like, how is it stopping the spread? You're after getting 2 jabs.
The more people that were being vaccinated, it was rising.
Yeah, but sure, the people that were after getting vaccinated thought they were after getting all their freedoms back. Oh, I can't wait to go on holidays. Oh, we're going out for drinks this weekend.
In the pubs.
But sure, as soon as they ended up getting a sniffle, they were sent home for 2 weeks off work and told not to come out of the gap. So I was like, what's the point of me getting vaccine if this is still... it's not going to help you, you know what I mean? So...
I didn't get it either.
Yeah, and people were like, you're an anti-vaxxer, you're an anti-vaxxer. I was just like, no, I'm a pro-choice. This is my body. I decide what I do with it. You can go and get 20 vaccines for all I care.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I've always been pro-choice.
Yeah. But then when you're not running with the narrative, you're anti. You know what I mean? So...
anti-everything.
Yeah, I just took it. I was like, yeah, that's grand. Yeah, I'm anti-vaxxer. You know, it didn't help either. I was in... So me and a few of the lads used to be going into the protest.
Yeah.
But I'd be going into work the next morning. And then I'd be coming home from work.
So you were the fella, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be coming home from work and literally straight onto the phone telling people about any drama or any...
Surprised they didn't sack you.
I don't know how I didn't get the sack, because I was using my Instagram, and this is before there was any yoga or anything. I was just kind of putting up gym videos and nutrition tips and stuff.
You were always just out straight away.
Yeah, I came home every evening up into Ballymun. I'd be just straight on the phone. I was living in Phibsborough actually first, and straight on the phone. Look, this is
having a little Kanye West moment.
Yeah, freaking out every evening. And I was surprised because someone did say to me that I'd want to be careful what I'm putting up online. And I said, I don't care. I'm telling the truth. Tell me if I'm telling any lies, then you've something to worry about. But no one ever said anything to me.
I think you end up gaining the right audience and the right people like who's meant to be for you when you be yourself anyways.
100%. And whether it's a small or a big audience, at least it's your audience, you know.
They're true to you. They're there because they want to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, the whole COVID thing completely changed my life, because I ended up rupturing my ACL the week before the lockdown hit.
Right.
And I had been dabbling in yoga, bits and pieces, going to classes, not really understanding the spiritual aspects of it really. I just thought it was exercise and mobility. But when everybody else was out doing their 2Ks and their 5K runs and the radius that the government had allowed them, I was just stuck in the gaff because I couldn't go running. So I was stuck in the gaff on a yoga mat with 2 dumbbells, and that's when I got really deep into the yoga.
Have you always been spiritual? Or did yoga lead you onto your spiritual?
No, I do. I always felt like I was connected to a higher power in some way, whether it was my religion and my faith, or I don't know. Yeah, there was always something there. And then the yoga started opening up a lot more and helped me realise that your spirit is what guides you. You know what I mean? And even though I spent many years not listening to it and ignoring me gut feelings.
I think it's when you're very young, you don't have the emotional maturity to actually understand it.
Yeah, 100%.
Understand yourself.
100%. Yeah, so I'd say I would have always been kind of spiritually connected in some capacity through either religion, faith, or what's after happening over the last 6-7 years through the yoga, you know. But it definitely saved my life. I was on a very weird path. I was dealing cocaine, taking cocaine, yokes, MDMA, doing all mad sorts of shit. Yeah. And then the yoga was just slowly creeping into my life and guiding me in a different direction. Trying to give you a way out. Yeah. So I'm just lucky that I ever stepped foot in the yoga mat the first
And we are very fucking lucky.
I know, yeah. Imagine.
You wouldn't have it here now.
I know, there'd be no yoga on the beach.
You'd be another bleeding mad out in the kitchen.
I'm sick of it. I'd be sick of it because I was burnt out from being in the kitchens talking crap.
I could imagine.
Yeah, no, look, Longford's a small place and there's plenty of kitchens. That's the problem, you know.
What's next? Where are we going from here? Yeah, so you're training in your yoga. You've done travelling. It's brought you everywhere.
Yeah. So when I finished in the Mater, I had already started teaching the yoga on the beach, and it ended up turning into, I suppose, being a political standpoint as well as a mental health campaign. Yeah. And I was there for 52 Wednesdays straight. I'd done 44 Sundays, 3 Fridays, and 2 Saturdays.
You're fucking complete.
Over the whole year, didn't miss one. And some people might say it was easy for me to dedicate myself for a whole year. It wasn't.
No, Jesus.
Dedicate yourself for a whole year, twice a week, for anything, no matter what it is, because you have to say no to so many things.
There was such a fire lit in your belly that.
Yeah, and it's easy for people to go and do these things now because there's no lockdowns, there's no Garda, there's no
restrictions on where you can drive.
Restrictions or anything like that. Whereas it wasn't just me, there was a few of the lads that were helping me, and then the community that just started being built down there, everybody was like, no, he's right, because I was like, if you're vaccinated, don't vaccinate, I don't care, just come down, this is for everybody.
Get out of your house for your mental health.
Yeah, and then done the whole year of that, and I was only after doing a 200 hour, and that's how I started teaching the yoga, because I had to teach 10 classes. People come to my class, sign off, and I was only doing it for my friends. And after the 4th week, like a couple of 100 people showed up to the beach, and I had about 1,000 followers.
How did that feel for you?
I was standing on the beach. I was only chatting to someone else about this recently, and I must dig up.
Can you remember the first
time
you blew up?
The week before that, there was 52 people on the beach, and I was like, 52 people at a yoga session, I'm not even qualified yet. This is madness. And had started raising money for suicide awareness after on the second week, because someone tried to pay me on the first week, and I was like, I don't want any money. And then the fourth week, I was standing on the beach chatting to two girls, and there was about 20, 30 people there already. And one of the boys was just recording the whole beach, and you can see me chatting to two girls, but my back was turned to the steps to the shelters. And Aisling and Casey just taps me like that, and she just goes like that, look. And I turned around, and there was about 200 people just walking down the steps with yoga mats under their arms. And you can see me in the video looking back, the two girls are saying, what is going on here? And that was it, yeah. So for a whole year then we done that. But I felt like I had an ethical duty to myself to go and study.
What was your ma like?
Me ma, she was having a canary. She wasn't on Instagram.
Did she not understand?
No.
She didn't see the good in it?
No, when I was telling her I was leaving the matter, she was like, what are you talking about? She goes, you sorted your whole life out. You went back to college. You said you wanted to get a good job. You're after getting a good job, and now you're going to walk over to go and teach yoga. And I said, you don't understand, ma. It says, like, this is... I was compelled to just follow this. The support was there. People really understood where I was coming from with the yoga side of things. I think kind of having a background like I do, to go and start teaching yoga and be able to make it relate to people who come from rougher areas, disadvantaged areas like yourself, you know what I mean? To come down and understand yoga and have a fella teach it and teach it in a way that's not... I
never thought it'd be even something I'd do.
Yeah. So I never thought it was something I'd do.
First day I went down there, I went down just to get out. Just on the beach. I didn't even know what the fuck yoga was, really.
Yeah, so she wasn't too happy when I told her I was leaving the mat. And then we were running an event down there halfway through. It was a different thing, a different little festival I was after putting on. And I asked me ma to come down to it.
Yeah.
And when she came down, she was like, oh my God, she goes, the amount of people you have down there. And that wasn't even just for me. There was a load of us after kind of coming together to do an event. But then we had the 52-week challenge finishing up. And my ma came down for that as well. And my mate drove her down. And she just said, she goes, I understand what you mean now. And so she had no other...
She could see the vision then.
600 people down at the beach for a yoga session on the last day. And she goes, I understand now. So she gave me... I was gone anyway. Like, God love me mother, she has never pointed me wrong. Any advice she's ever given me,
I'd say once she said them words, though, I'd say an ease came over you.
Yeah, because I've never listened to her. And when I have listened to her, it's been right. When I haven't listened to her, she's still been right.
Yeah.
Whereas this time I was like, I'm not listening to her because she doesn't know yet, but she will understand. And then when she understood, then she's just had to become my biggest supporter. Yeah, she set up an Instagram page and she fucking follows and comments and likes everything underneath that I put up, you know. Yeah.
So I'm glad you're making her proud.
Yeah, so then I just felt like I had to go to India, and then I'm after spending the last 9 months out of the last 2 years in India, kind of doing 3-month trips over.
So that was like a culture shock, was it?
I had never been on a big trip before. I've been to many cities around Europe, Spain, the usual old kind of trips people go on.
Yeah.
But then to like go and book me flights and organise all this trip myself. Wasn't terrified. I was just like, what can go wrong? I have money in my wallet. I have money in my bank. I have my passport. It's not that big of a deal. I'm a fella. A girl going to these places might be a little bit different travelling by herself, but I was like, I'm grand. I feel very, very safe in my own body, in my own zone. I feel very...
And did you have someone meeting you over there? Like,
no.
Nobody?
Just went over. Yeah, just booked the flight and was like, right, get a flight here, flight there.
Did they look after you?
Yeah, they love me out there. I've made so many good friends, and the part where I went is called Rishikesh, and the people up there are just unbelievable. The locals are very, like, you think people are spiritual here. They would laugh at what we think is spiritual here. Even me, I feel like I shouldn't even be talking about spirituality when you listen to these people. They're so
connected.
Yeah, and like you will hear bad things about parts of India. And I did travel a little bit down the south for about 3 weeks, but I was like, I'm sick of this, get me back up the north quick.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, it loses their culture, their Hinduism.
Yeah.
And that's their spiritual beliefs, their religion, I suppose. But the further down the south you go, it kind of loses that touch. Whereas you're back up the north at the Himalaya mountains, everyone is so nice. You'd never be stuck for food. It kind of reminds me like
India.
It kind of reminds me of like 90s in Ireland. You know what I mean? No one was ever stuck for food. Neighbours would always look out for you. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's very
real community based.
Yeah, community. Even though it's a city, everybody looks after each other up there, and it's one of the most important things that I found up there was how caring people were for each other, you know.
Yeah, I love that.
Because people can be very disconnected back here, you know what I mean?
Sometimes the less people have, the more they give.
Exactly. And believe me, people have not much out there, you know.
Yeah.
The rich people, when you compare them to rich people here in Ireland, they're not even on the same level, you know what I mean? So
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. 9 months out there over the last 2 years. And
you're going back, aren't you?
I am going back. I was supposed to be there in October, but a few things fell through which were out of my control. I would like to bring people back from March. I was planning on bringing a retreat out there, but I think I'm going to postpone going back till September. Right. And get one. I want to have one final bit of training that I need to do out there, and then that's it. I'm going to.
So you're going to be helping people trying to be teachers?
No. I'm just going to bring people out, because when I was out there, I was doing, obviously, posting a lot of stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, I'd love to do that. That's deadly. Because I was doing my yoga, obviously, but there was other things I was doing out there. My friend owned an art studio. There was musicians there. It was all just loads of stuff going on. And
an interesting one to follow.
And I was like, you know what? I could bring people out to Rishikesh and give them the experience I had. Yeah. Even if they're not that big into yoga. We could have our yoga practice every morning. We'd be in the art studio for 2 or 3 hours of the day.
Yeah.
Bring people on
life
hikes.
Experience.
Yeah, bring people up on hikes into the mountains and everything. Because there's some lovely hikes. There's some long hikes where it might take you 2 days. But like, the way that I would have it planned already, because I already had the positives. It was a mad story why it all fell through. There would be so much for people to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no matter if old Bridie comes and young Mick comes, right, we can organise something for Mick to do. Exactly. You know what I mean? But we'll have the main basis of the...
Sometimes to get out, like to find yourself, you need to leave yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's...
Get out of your routine, your everyday
And India is the place to do that, because it's not like anywhere else in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not a 5-star resort or anything like that. You could have a nice room, nice hotel, but when you walk out onto the street, it's just...
The reality's going to hit you.
Yeah.
That's lovely. But sounds good.
It's unbelievable out there.
So your ma is on social media because of you. What does she think of half the shit you bought?
Oh, she just wants me to find a wife, tell you the truth. She just... none of them nice girls down at the beach. No nice girls come to your yoga classes, and I'm like, ma, I can't be tipping every bird that comes to the beach or trying it on any bird that comes to the beach, and I've made that a rule within myself not to be doing that. Yeah, she's like, well, you have to find somebody. Sure, all you do is go to the beach or teach yoga. And I'm like, yeah, but sure, well...
How long has it been since you've had a girlfriend? I heard a few minutes ago you said me ex, so that's why I'm asking.
Oh, that was an ex from college, way back in the day. I think I'm single, 4 years now?
It's not that long.
No, 4 years this May.
But Mammy's getting...
She wants grandkids. She wants grandkids. And she knows I've always been Brody, like even since a young fella. Like I was living in my 20s, I was living like I was in my 30s. I was in a long relationship. Me and her fell through.
She probably expects you to have them all by now.
I thought I'd have about 5 or 6 babies by now, to tell you the truth. I still want 5 or 6 babies. I want to have a clatter of kids. You know what I mean?
Plenty of time.
I know, but she's trying to put the hammer down. She wants to have her grandkids, but we'll see.
Is there anybody? Are you seeing anybody that your ma doesn't know about?
No, I've went through a shitty breakup, and I said to myself, you know what? And this is not me even being an arsehole. If I wanted to be out, I could be out every night of the week.
I'd say so.
With someone, and I've no interest.
Your Instagram is hopping.
Yeah, so and even at that, do you know what I mean? I have no interest in birds that will be trying to react or any crack like that. That got me in trouble before, so I don't bother. Yeah, that's why I'm like, right. Well, that was how the last girl that I was in with was reacting to stories, bullshit stuff, you know. So I said to myself when that fell through, I was like, you know what? Don't be going out bed hopping. Don't be going out on the gargle and just looking for quick fixes. I said, you know what? Don't touch a thing. And I ended up staying celibate for 14 months.
That's good. 14 months.
I know,
for a man.
For a fella in my position to just be like, no, staunch.
I'd say many girls would laugh at that. They heard that 14 months.
Well, yeah, they can laugh if they want.
They'd be going 2 and 3 years waiting on a fella to get out of joy.
I'm after channeling so much of my own energy over the time that I was doing the celibacy. And
he says it's very, very good for you.
I learned so much about myself, and my whole life completely changed. And getting rid of that part of, I suppose, part of your needs or your wants, getting rid of that lust and that, I suppose,
make
just
it very
selfishness. Yeah. So I locked in over the 14 months, I had planned on only doing 12.
Yeah.
And then, like, nothing really tickled me fancy until it was 14 months.
Do that too as well. It's only 2 months.
So, yeah, no, then I just ended up meeting a girl that, to be honest with you, if things were different, me and her probably would be together.
Yeah.
Because she's a good bird, you know what I mean? And we still chat. But after her then, I went and done another 12 month celibate. And then I come back, stretched the body out. Well, another very nice girl. And then that was it. So I don't know what I'm on now. I'm locked in again for
doing little stints.
Yeah, just, I don't know. I feel like stretching the body out every so often.
Right girl will find you.
But now I'm just locked in because...
And she won't be able to go down 12 months without you.
Oh, believe me, she won't. Once I get locked in with a bird, it won't be fucking 12 minutes if we're in the same room together.
What has been going on social media?
What do you mean?
There's been some jabs back and forth, and we're not going to say any names on this. I didn't really know about this until I mentioned to my friend I was having it on today.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, have you seen his fucking stories?
Oh my God, she said.
Like, which ones?
Which ones?
Like, someone annoying him. Who's annoying you? Without saying anyone's name.
There's a few things going on that's annoying me. I tell you, I get on to the weirdos and the stalkers first.
She mentioned something about this, yeah.
So, I always check my views. Because I'd just be interested.
I hadn't seen it, and then when I went on and seen it, and then I seen you saying something about nothing worse than a female stalker, only for a male stalker. It's them male
weirdos, yeah. And it's strange behaviour. I'll always just check my views, just not like go through 1,000 names or anything like that, but I'll just have a quick gawk, see who's gawking through it or whatever. And it's just surprised me over the years who's been looking and then not following. People that I know from my childhood, people that I broke bread with, drank with, paid a few tick bills for 1 or 2 boys, and next minute you see them creeping, but they're not following.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that annoys me, because I'm like, I'm one of ye. Yeah. You should be
proud to be following
some plaudits and give me a message, say fair play to you. And it's funny, it's the randomers from my hometown that barely knew me that will message me and say fair play to you, blah blah blah, big long spiel about how much that they're motivated by what I'm doing, but yet the fellas who you had their back when there was arguments going on and everything, they wouldn't even message you and say well done, or they wouldn't even be following your page, which is grand. Let them keep tuning in, because this is only going to keep skyrocketing.
Yeah.
But then I just see birds' names and I'm like, who's she? Why is she not following the page? You see her again popping up, again popping up, again popping up.
Yeah.
And then I just started straight out
messaging. You'd be thinking, why would be the reason for it?
Yeah, I messaged a few birds there last week. There was 3 birds, kept seeing their names popping up. And I said, well, what's the story? You're one of the weirdos. Same, copied and pasted to the 3 moths. One of them followed me back. I followed her back. And then when she seen the message, she unfollowed me. And I was like, what is going on with these birds? But then I seen a few fellas' names. Don't even know them. Very few mutual friends. And I'm like, why are they gawking now? Are they after getting the hump over something? You know what I mean? Because I don't be chatting to fellas' birds. And I barely be chatting to any birds that I know are single as it is anyway. So
sure, even down on the beach, I'm really respectful to everybody.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, why are fellas creeping on me? You know what I mean? And it's not like they're fellas with a rainbow flag in their profile either, you know what I mean? Having a gawk, it's just strange behaviour. So I'm a straight shooter. I call a spade a spade. I always have been that way.
Do you think they might fancy you?
No, I don't know what the girls...
Do you want to look in the camera and tell them that?
I'm off limits. I'm off limits until the woman that comes and knocks me off my feet. I'm off limits. But the fellas, I don't know what's going on with the boys. Strange behaviour, you know what I mean? I don't be creeping on any fella's page unless I'm following them, you know what I mean? And
fellas, keep your hands off them.
Keep your hands off. I don't swing that way.
It's weighing on a woman.
You wouldn't get a Visa card through the cheeks of my arse. I actually have a gay friend. I have 2 gay friends, right? And one of them actually came out. I was one of the first fellas he came out to. And I met him there a couple of weeks back. We were coming out of the gym and he was saying like he was after moving down to Dublin, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He started getting into the nitty-gritty of meeting up with this fella. And he started like... Do you know the way, like, as if girls chat to another girl about a fella, or a fella and a fella chat about a girl. We're walking out the door of the gym and he started getting into it, and I just says, listen bud, I put my hand on the shoulder. I says, fair play to you. I says, do what you want. I said, but I don't know how you have the stomach for it. And he started splitting himself laughing. And that's just the way I am with it. Like, you know, fair play to this, but I do not swing that side of the fence.
I support you, and no matter what you do,
but knock yourself out. But just
keep me out of it.
Yeah, my arsehole is an exo hole. There's nothing going in that thing, you know.
Is it life gone mad though that I even feel the need to even say shit like this? Like,
yeah. But when boys are being weirdo stalkers, you have to kind of keep your wits about you, you know. I'm a very paro boy. Like,
I've got a few stalkers myself.
I'd say you have
people who hate you that want to stalk you.
Yeah. I'd say you probably have a lot of people going, the neck of this one starting the podcast, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sure, fuck them.
People like being so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. And as a proud Irish man, what do you think of the state of this bleeding country?
Oh Jesus, this could be cancellation problems here now.
You don't have to get really into it.
I'll get into it. I've been talking.
The difference in this as when you were growing up, as a youngster, or even years ago when you first started travelling to Dublin to do yoga.
I've noticed some big changes because we used to come up as kids to Dublin with our grannies. Me granny, me auntie, and me ma, and me ma's sisters. So it was like my granny and her sister, and then whatever rest was. They used to round a load of us up, all the kids, and bring us up for the day. And we used to love it. We used to get dragged into Michael Guine's, was the first spot off the train. Fucking dragged in there for hours. And then I just remember Moore Street as a kid. And just being,
walking by
they were all selling chocolate, all sorts of stuff, you know what I mean? And it was just mad because when you're down the country, you don't see that as much, you know what I mean?
When you're talking about it.
Yeah, and then just seeing them because I used to go out with a girl, me and her were together for years, and she was actually in Drumcondra doing her degree, St. Pat's teaching in Drumcondra. And so I used to be in Dublin quite a bit, and then when I came back down here in 2018, when I was working in the Mater, it still had a bit of the essence of Dublin with that Moore Street crack there. But then from like 2019, 2020, 21, you could just see it deteriorating. And I talked about this in a podcast a few years back about Moore Street, how bad it was gone. And it was still when some of the older ladies still had a lot of their stalls there. But now it's gone to be an absolute hellhole down there.
It's very sad, isn't it? Like, it's gut-wrenching.
And I got called a racist this year. I was at a few of the protests.
I only get called it once.
Yeah, but this is the thing. My mother's gone out with a foreigner, and she's gone out with him for the last 23 years.
Yeah.
Right? I have friends who are black.
So anyone who knows you deeply knows what
I have friends who are black, white. I've been to India. One of my best friends in India is from Senegal. He is the blackest black fella you'll ever see. Yeah. Me and him were together every day. He was on about inviting me over to Africa. He's after moving back home for a while. Mixing with all different cultures out in India. Yeah. I couldn't care if you were pink with yellow polka dots. That is the God's honest truth. But what the government is after doing here to help line their best friends' pockets with all this iPass centre bullshit is an absolute disgrace when we have so many homeless of our own on the streets. And people might say, oh, but sure, they're all just people on drugs that are out on the street. It's not, because when I was living in Ballymun, I went up a few nights because a few of the girls used to come to me yoga, and they were running the Ballymun soup kitchen. Yeah. And I went up there a few nights, and it was heartbreaking. Because the first night I was there, they had loads of shopping bags left to the side, like with like full week's shopping. Yeah. And they were coming, getting them ready for kids that were coming down out of the hotel to collect them. And then finding out off Jerry was one of the girls that was running it. She was saying, oh yeah, he's been coming to us for the last 2 or 3 years. Him and the whole family are stuck up in a hotel room up there. And that was 2021. So, like, are these people still in the hotels? Or is there able to just turn emergency accommodation into anything for
any time? I had a big problem when we were getting, like, hubs. So at the time, they were, like, calling them women and baby hubs around Coolock. And they had one just up outside the factories there, at Bargaintown.
Right, yeah.
We, like, the bigger picture is, if we made that normalised in our area, that's there, that's just accepting this issue, this homeless issue, that mothers and babies are always going to be homeless. If we're given a facility being called it, why not fix the bigger fucking issue and not have them homeless in the fucking first place?
Exactly. Like, they're able to build all these mad housing estates and just move.
Then all of a sudden it'd be men going into families, right? Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're looking, they've got a little playground for the children, which is brilliant. Some women are in there now 2 years, 3 years with their kids. And they're just fucking left it.
Yeah, no, the government have it all wrong here. And as I said, like, this whole iPass centre crack that's going on is just lining the pockets of the people who are already wealthy.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy the money that's coming in there to keep these iPass centres open. And my only problem is, look, the Irish have been immigrants. We've went around the world and we've done things, and I suppose we've done some bad things. The Irish mob in New York, the IRA over in the UK, but
we've also built some amazing
we've built and, you know, got on and integrated in the world. A lot of these men that are coming over here, as you can see, they're not here to integrate, and they never will integrate.
Any country you've ever gone to, you're well travelled. I'm very well travelled also. There's always an Irish pub. Everyone loves the fucking Irish. They're not loving on us for nothing. If you go any other country, do you see other pubs, other cultures?
No.
Pubs?
Like,
you know,
the Irish are loved worldwide, and then the way that RTE is portraying Irish patriots here is absolutely disgraceful. The first time I was going out to India, 2 days beforehand, the migrant who wasn't even supposed to be in the country, he had a deportation order from whatever amount of years. Remember, he stabbed the kids outside the school?
Yeah.
And then, of course, the next morning, or that night, the riots broke out.
Poor little girl is still very, very sick.
My mate's sister was the paramedic on the front of the paper that was looking after the child. She was the first person on call to her. She said it was scandalous.
And no one's talking about this anymore.
But this is the thing. All that was talked about was the riots and about the burning of the Lewis, this, that and the other. And I was literally flying out to India the next morning after the riots happened. I had my GoPro because I documented all my trips. And I was sitting in the airport for about 10 minutes talking into the camera, saying, I can't believe I'm leaving the country and it's like this, and this is all RTE you're talking about. I give RTE an awful time. RTE were only flat out talking about the riots, and I'm there in my head going, right, well, pluck the incident that happened yesterday out of the way. Would those riots have happened? Exactly. No, they wouldn't. You know what I mean?
That's what they do. They're getting into, it's like a mind control thing that they're doing for people. People will listen to the reaction instead of realising why people.
What was the cause? Like what was the cause of it? You know what I mean?
She should not have been here. It's the government's fault. If he had not been here and left without being deported, it would not have fucking happened.
Same with what went on with that young girl that's after getting molested over there at City West. You know what I mean? And look, I'm hearing.
And I've seen an awful lot of people speak out about it now this time, which is lovely because every time it's radio silence for anyone with platform. People are starting to kind of speak out a little bit now. It's just still people putting up discount codes that day that like everyone was in uproar. Like it's constantly being division. People are speaking out. She was only 10. No, she is 10. She is still 10. She's still alive. She still has to live with that torture.
And the family have to live with it too. And like.
You're singing it like a tune. She was only 10. She was only 10, as if like that's doing something. Get out and put your face to it.
But people, as I said, the reason I got called a racist, and I just owned up to everything that I was saying, and I says, how am I a racist? Blah, blah, blah. When you start talking about this topic, it is so divided, left and right. There's no middle line with this, right? So I am 100% open for people to come into this country and contribute to society, which they have done for a very long time. But 100%, we need to start looking after our own people first. If the roof falls down in this gaff, and the roof falls down in the gaff next door, whose roof are you sorting out first? Your own. Exactly. As much as you'd love to be able to help everybody.
Bring it back to basics. Is that what I'm saying? If little Johnny had 3 apples, can he give fucking 6 people apples?
No, he can't. You know what I mean?
Even look after his brother and sister.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a scandalous situation, the way that the politicians are just letting all this come in without no background checks.
Into thinking like they want you to actually go along with this shit. And if you don't, it's your job on the line, it's your reputation.
But my reputation has been on the line.
Lost you any business?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say it has, And even with the COVID stuff, like it lost. Like people were giving me abuse. I was getting death threats through the COVID things as well, which I laughed about. I'm still standing sturdy waiting for someone to come around. But I still spoke the truth, and it got me to where I am. Around this whole immigration thing, and I've talked with lads from different cultures about this. If people want to deem someone a racist for speaking the truth, then that's grand. I am the furthest thing from a racist.
I've heard a lot of people from different cultures, from different races, having the exact same opinion as me and you.
Yeah.
No one would dare call them racist because they are different races.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
They understand.
People can call me whatever they want. I know what I am.
Just don't call me too early in the fucking morning.
Yeah, or late at night. But I'm not happy with the way the country is. I feel like everybody should. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was going to India, I had to have a visa, right? And I'm coming from Ireland, going out there to spend thousands of euros and spend months training in the place, right? The last time I was coming back from India, leaving the place, I was supposed to fly out on the 28th of March. Couldn't get a flight for the 28th of March. So I booked a flight for the 29th of March at stupid o'clock in the morning, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Got a taxi the whole way from Rishikesh, which was a 4.5 hour taxi drive. Fell asleep in the back of the thing. Wrecked, just mad to get home. Get the whole way up in through the queue, through the security, or up through the visa check. Hand your man my passport and my visa. And I wasn't even passing any heeding them. And because my mates had told me, I was like, I might be a couple of hours late over this. And the German fellow was like, oh, don't worry. I was 2 weeks late. They only fined me 50 euros.
Yeah.
And a few of the Indians were like, no, you're a grand. Like, it's only 6 hours or whatever, 12 hours, something. And handed your man the passport and the visa. And here he was looking at it. Next minute, he looks up at the ceiling and I could see him in his head counting up the numbers. And he just goes, oh, your visa's expired. And I says, yeah, last night, but says this was the earliest flight I could get out of the country.
Yeah. And
he goes, oh no, big trouble. Called over to Border Patrol. Boys take me wallet, passport, visa, and my phone. And I was just left standing in the queue there for about half an hour. I could see the boys in the deportation office on the computer doing whatever they were doing. Called me into the office, asked me where I was coming from, where I was going to, and I was like, in my head, I have all this information here. And do you plan to come back out here? And I still had 3 months left on my visa. It was an in-day visa and everything. And she said, I plan to come back up in September. Okay, that's grand, yeah, no worries. And they let me out, you know what I mean? But it was a big deal for me leaving the country.
It was in their hands what they could have done there.
But this is the thing with India. You land to India and you have no visa. You're not getting in. You're getting sent straight back on the next flight and that's it. Like whereas here, it's just like land in and whatever way you can get to our coast and we let you in. You know what I mean? Island. No paperwork, no nothing. It's like, well, he got on the plane somewhere.
Yeah.
So where was the paperwork for him to get on the plane to get here?
Where the fuck did the plane come from? Send them back.
Exactly, because look, if there is obviously people coming from different countries that are looking for a better life, and 100%. Like you know, everybody was saying about people coming here for a better life, and I totally understand that. People coming, like think about it, right? How many years have you been going to doctors or hospitals or anything like that? And there's been always foreign people working.
All my life.
You know what I mean? And this is where it makes my heart feel a little bit of an ache for these people, because I've worked in the hospital and I've worked with Indians, I've worked with God knows from what country, and they're here for a better life to do a good service to the country. And it's unfortunate that these people are being tarred with the same brush, because you've seen so many attacks happening on Indian people, and I mean not just being biased,
and Brazilian delivery drivers,
everything. Like I've been to India and I've met people from Brazil and everything out there, and they're the loveliest people ever. But then you have these lads that are coming in who are undocumented, causing murders, troubles,
economic migrants.
Yeah, economic migrants.
It's completely different.
They're coming in and it's causing a lot of trouble and it's causing a lot of unrest between the people of our own country. And then the people who are actually here, who have been here for years, making a good life for themselves, are getting the blunt edge of it now. So, and it's not.
I'd hate them to think that people, you know what I mean, that they're the problem. They're not the problem. Our Irish government is the problem.
That's the problem. Like, it's not even, it should just be stopped. And the lads at the top do not care, because they are getting money handed to them from the EU, and then they're sorting out all their other cronies at the top.
And then we have all our other greedy Gaelic GAA people and everyone else all over Ireland that are profiting off this.
Yeah, because they're renting out any properties that they own to let all these people come in. And it's a sickener when you can see people in Ireland that are struggling at the minute, as we were just talking about downstairs before we came up, about people not having houses. And even in your area here, areas back down in my
every area now,
houses boarded up and left lying idle for years, where you could get a family in there. It might not be the best living conditions, but it's better than them living.
I feel like it goes back to the budget. I feel like there's over expenditure in so many different regions, and then there's people going without.
Yeah, sure. It's the same all the time. Housing, even like with all this stuff that's going on with carers allowance and everything, all been taken away. Like, why? We should be looking after the people who are at the lowest end.
People on waiting lists and all in hospitals. You've seen that first-handedly.
Yeah, it's a joke. Like even myself, like I might have been working in the Mater Private, and that's private healthcare. But anytime I had to go and see a doctor, it was through public healthcare, you know, and it's an absolute mess the way that the whole public healthcare system is at the minute, you know.
So on a brighter note, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
I don't know. I have big dreams and have aspirations, but what I've learned over the last 5 years is that lots of things can change.
Yeah.
And lots of people in your life can change. Your social circle can change. And a lot of the stuff that I have going on in my head was all for this like bigger picture to bring everybody together. Obviously, you might have heard me talking before about having this big 100-acre farm that's going to be used as a retreat centre. But the idea for that was that me and all my friends would live on it. But a lot of people now I don't talk to, you know what I mean? So it changes so much. But for me personally, in the next 5 years, I would just love to take the Mind Yourself brand to another level. Probably get another little bit of travelling in. And then on a personal space, I'd love to start settling down and having a few babies.
Get a Mrs. Shani for the farm.
I don't even want the missus. I just want me babies, you know what I mean?
Shani needs someone to carry them babies and milk them cows.
That's all I need. I don't know, I feel like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I was living as if I was in my 30s. I was always in long-term relationships, you know what I mean? And now
takes its toll on you.
It does, yeah. And I've been single now the last few years and I've had no real dating scene whatsoever. So I think I better start dipping my toe in because I feel it's strange.
Only be dipping more than your toe in if you want a few kids.
But no, I feel like I've had like such a strange relationship with my own father. And I feel like in my own head, I would right a lot of wrongs if I had my own son. Now, knowing my luck, I'll be like Henry VIII and I keep getting girls popped out. But I feel like it's the next step in my life.
You want to just like change the generational thing.
I just feel like that'd be the finishing thing, cherry on top of my life because becoming a father, you know what I mean?
I think you'd be great at.
I know well I would, because you want to say what I'm like with any of my mates' kids or anytime there's kids around, like I would get more crack playing with the kids, you know what I mean?
It's always the ones that don't have kids, they have more time for us.
I know, yeah.
My friend has none either, and she's like the piper, she's running around with all her kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd be like, and as my mates who always say, oh, you think it's great, but you're able to hand them back to people at the end of the day, you know? But I think that's the next step over the next 5 years, start elevating the business a bit more and then start sorting out the next step. Next step, yeah. Dip
what has dip everything. What has yoga done for your mental health and the benefits? What benefits have you seen helping other people?
For myself, obviously, it's just completely transcended my life. I was down a very dark path between dealing drugs, partying, out drinking, smoking, fighting, the typical usual stuff that a fella gets caught up in. And even when I was doing all that, I was still rolling out my yoga mat, and it slowly took over my life. And even now today, when I don't be out partying and stuff, obviously my life is fairly clean. Whenever I'm just going through emotional stuff or there's some family problems, just sitting on the mat for an hour and just stretching the body, it just completely it blocks out the external world, and I can just focus on what's going on inside myself. You know, I was down at the beach this morning there and just being able to do 20 minutes yoga before I get in for a sea swim, like, and I feel,
that's your release.
Yeah, I feel like a new man after. I feel like it's like a baptism.
Do you feel like when you have things going on in your life and then like you're not sure of things, do you find everything through your breath work? Yeah,
definitely, because the breathwork just brings me back to myself and it's able to help clear my thoughts. There's so many different breathwork exercises that you can do to help clear your mind, and I find when I'm not leaning into the yoga and breathwork, I can have a very confused mind state. You know what I mean? And as much as I love the gym and going to the boxing and kickboxing or whatever else, as soon as that's over, I'm back in my head again. You know what I mean? Whereas the yoga is like, it just shifts all the energy that's lying deep within you that you don't really need to. That's kind of just
all the intrusive thoughts.
Yes, exactly. So there's a term, chitta vritti. So your chitta is your mind, and your vrittis are everything that distracts your mind. So that could be like your memories, past experiences, people that you're thinking about, you know what I mean? So it's just literally about stopping the vrittis and letting the chitta calm itself back down.
Very good. I never heard that before.
I know Sanskrit. Yeah. I know lots. So I don't share too much because I think it'd just be a little bit too deep for some people, you know. But that's the source. And with the yoga then, in terms for other people, like I have people coming to the yoga for years that were suffering with mental health problems. So the whole yoga thing kicked off, as I was saying earlier on, was a big mental health campaign. But a lot of people were coming to me that were on death's door, like had nearly committed suicide, were after being saved by family members or hospitals, people that were actually in hospital because of the damage they had done to themselves for nearly taking their own lives. And then they started coming to the yoga, and some of these people are still coming. And
I've talked to a few of them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And even with like some of the lads and lassies that are in, suppose, recovery, and you know, they're very grateful of that space, and they've never done yoga before, and it's an honour for me to be able to share what I've learned. And I think the way that my life was and the way I'm able to communicate with people, that's why a lot of people in that area come to me, you know what I mean? They say they won't go to any
You can relate to an awful lot of people in different ways.
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's not, like, yoga can be it can be a very kind of upper echelon of society kind of hobby for people to be following. Even myself, I know when I go to yoga classes, like, you're paying €25 a yoga class, you know, a lot of people can't afford that. So it is important to keep that space open for people.
Anyone who wants to get involved, drop down.
And that's why the beach will always be free for people in recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's amazing. Like, what you announce to every single class, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Anybody in recovery or anybody don't worry about it.
It's important for me to say that because like the way that I've had to put a charge in it obviously this year and have a booking system in, not the people who really book in, they just message me saying they're coming.
I just rock up.
But like the likes of you, like say you're sitting there and I come and check your email and you're booked in, and the lady next to you then is suffering with some crazy drug addiction or something, and I ask her for her email, I'm after airing her dirty laundry in front of everybody. So that's why I don't check anything. It's an honesty box, and I hope people are being honest. And it
is good though. You can just rock up, leave everything, and just come.
Yeah, and that's why I just want to keep it open for the people in recovery, because
it's amazing.
You know, if they can have a few outlets a week, whether it's yoga, go and play on five-a-side with their mates,
I've met some lovely people down there.
Yeah, all walks of life.
I was talking to one of your yoga babies. She's there from day one.
Yeah,
and I actually know her from Coolock. I'm not going to say her name just in case she has a problem with it.
Right.
But she's very fond of you. You know her. We actually had a conversation with you on her one night. But she was from the original, so she was there from the very start, her very first class.
Yeah.
And like, everybody has this mutual thing where they all say they found themselves, or like it gives them the push to do what they really wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's giving yourself that time to sit there with your own thoughts without life getting in the way as well. 100%. It can make you realise what you really want to do with yourself.
Exactly, make you realise what's important and what's not. More importantly, what's not important. That's what yoga has done for me. It's made me realise what wasn't important in my life, you know what I mean? And as much as I'd love to have a big fat Range Rover and a big huge gaff and this, that and the other, but like the materialistic stuff kind of got washed away over the last few years of me doing the yoga. So, but yeah, it's amazing to see that there's still day ones that are coming down. Like, I started teaching yoga to rap music. Like, you know what I mean? And there's people that are still there since the hip hop days. Then. Yeah, just to pick up some hippie or some hip hop flow and stuff.
Another one of them.
I don't know, I think we might for the crack. I still have a few of the playlists for the laugh. Yeah, it was savage crack.
See any new people's reactions, you know?
Stop. It was funny enough. One of the lads said to me, he said, I'd never heard anyone playing DMX at a yoga session before. And I said, well, there you are.
You never had me before.
Putting the G in yoga, you know yourself.
So anything else that you'd like to tell people before we wrap up? Now, I know all through this you've given little bits of wisdom, so I'm not putting pressure on you here. The best thing for anyone to do is start focusing on themselves, because over the years I was so enthralled with worrying about how other people were, or if I was stepping on other people's toes or annoying people, and it can just wreck your head a little bit, you know what I mean? But if you actually start focusing on improving yourself, you will be much better of a servant to the people in your community, your family, your friends, anyone that you love and care about. And yeah, just do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, you are going to a grave by yourself. There's going to be no one there with you. And I do not want to go to a grave full of regrets, worrying about what people thought of me, because I've realised over the years, when times of despair hit, who's really banging their phone out and who's checking on you and who's texting you, and you'd be surprised, because as I've said many times over the years, I don't know whether I said it earlier on in this podcast, but I said it on many podcasts, like, I sorted boys out way back in the day. Gave boys places to sleep. People have done that for me too. Paid a few tick bills for boys, made sure that there was no drama with what was going on. I don't talk to a lot of these lads now. They wouldn't even, there's some of them that would be scoping me stories. I'm the same.
They'd never share, comment, nothing, you know what I mean? And the most random people that I would have grown up with but not been really friends with have reached out and messaged me saying, fair play to you, blah, blah, blah.
And even some people that I wouldn't have in my life now. for certain reasons, because I'd be setting boundaries. I still can recognise where they would have been brilliant for my life and where they've done amazing things for me. But it was always when I would have been benefiting them.
Exactly, 100%.
I find people like you to do well until you're nearly going to do a bit better than them.
Just a begrudging.
Then they don't want you to do well anymore.
It's a begrudging mentality, I think, that a lot of Irish people have, and especially when you come from a small area, like Darndale will be a small area.
Yeah.
Longford Town's a small area, you know what I mean? Everybody knows everybody, and as I said, it's strange to people who support you.
You feel the energy shift, don't you?
Yeah. And
whether they say it or not.
That's just a reflection of themselves, because one of my favourite sayings of all time, and I love this, is that the leaves on the trees don't hang with the grass, even though they both started from the same place.
Very, very good.
You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's where I've noticed a lot of communication has broke down with me and people that I know from back in the day and old friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's jealousy, but it can be, I suppose it is a bit of jealousy and envy, but it literally is a reflection of them saying, right, he's doing that.
People are very intimidated by somebody who knows what they want in life.
Like, I was the smallest, I was the fattest, I was the weakest,
You were the underdog.
I was the small, fat, obese kid, but yeah, I'm after going and changing my whole life around, and then I know for a fact that can burn some people.
Yeah.
That is like, right, he shouldn't be able to do this, that and the other because I was this, that and the other. But no, people never follow through with their dreams.
Yeah.
They let their own fears and insecurities
Some people are very entitled. They just think that they should have it.
Yeah,
they don't want to walk for like you did.
No, I've been busting my hole and I've made many wrong turns over the years, and I'm just glad that this tree has finally started to grow.
And I'm glad that I'm glad that you're after doing so well, because if you hadn't, our paths wouldn't have crossed.
100%. You know, I've met so many amazing people over the years.
Hundreds of people from Dublin.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so funny that I can be I'm here in Darndale. I could call here anytime for a cup of tea.
Yeah.
I was up in the little cottages in Finglas. I was over in Cherry Orchard. Like, I could be in the most random spots in Dublin. And they're just...
I can imagine you on a night out, everyone, there's Seany.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like, I could be in a gaff in Sutton, then I could be in a gaff in Ballymun. I meet people from all walks of life, and I don't think there's been too many cultures that have come to Dublin and have the same kind of friendships and impact that I
They wouldn't have mixed as well as you mixed.
No. And that's the thing, like, I'm a townie, like Longford Town, council estate kid, and that's why I think a lot of people have a lot of respect.
You're so relatable. Yeah. The only thing is the accent. Sometimes I can't understand you.
Sometimes, yeah. I wouldn't mind when I was down here for the pretty much 6 years I was living here. Every time I go back home, some of the lads would be like, you've got a bit of Dublin twang in your accent now. And I would have, like, you know what I mean? I'm hanging around with all the boys from Ballymun back in the day when I was living up there and everything. So what else? I'm not going to not pick up.
I was so afraid I wasn't going to understand you. I understood every single word that you said.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I have a mild enough country accent. Yeah. If you go deeper down the country, it's a little bit...
I think it's because you have all the little slang words the same, so you can... you're not too...
Yeah. But there's... I love Dublin. Dublin is after becoming my second home, and I do threat to move back down there sometimes, and then... You know yourself.
Sure, you'd be welcome to open arms.
I'd be welcome, yeah. I'd never be stuck for places there. I know
Definitely
that much. Yeah. So we'd see. You never know. I could be making an appearance back in Dublin next year. We'd see.
Now, so drop down to the beach and see Seany.
Come and see me.
Get involved in the yoga. It's not just girls. It's boys, it's girls, it's women, it's younger girls.
It is very female dominated, lads. So if you're looking to try and maybe mingle with a few nice women.
Yeah, you'd actually get bored down there. or a man.
Or a man, yeah, whatever way. LGBT, you can come in, I'm easy.
Whatever way you're swinging. Swing down to Portmarnock shelters.
100%.
Thank you very much, Seany.
You're more than welcome.
Thanks for all your stories, all your wisdom.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you to everyone else for listening, and head over and find Mind Yourself 365 if you're not already, because you have some following. Yeah. Just keep following me. I need it all. I need it all to come. Everyone follow Seany. Follow me as well.
Yeah, and follow Jade as well. You up, Darndale. And a big shout out to the Balgriffin Inn. As always, thank you so much for your sponsor. And we'll catch you all on episode 9. Bye.